You won't believe how these lottery winners turned their dream come true into their worst nightmare. But what went so disastrously wrong for them? Well, let's dive in and uncover the stories. Number 25. William Bud Post. William Bud Post's life before the jackpot was modest, and the sudden influx of $16.2 million seemed like a stroke of incredible luck. However, the joy was short-lived. The newfound wealth ignited a series of challenges that Bud was unprepared for. Almost immediately, he found himself caught in legal battles, including a lawsuit from his ex-girlfriend demanding a share of the winnings, which she won. But the troubles didn't stop there. Even his own brother turned against him, going so far as to hire a hitman in hopes of inheriting a piece of the fortune. But the familial betrayal was just the tip of the iceberg. Bud's lack of financial knowledge led him to make several poor investment decisions, draining his bank account at an alarming rate. The constant demand for money from distant relatives and friends added to the financial loss. In a tragic turn of events, within a year, Bud found himself bankrupt and $1 million in debt. Much like Bud, the next person had a tragic tale. Number 24. Evelyn Adams. Evelyn Adams defied the odds by winning the lottery not once but twice in the mid-1980s. Her total winnings amounted to a staggering $5.4 million, a sum most can only dream of. However, Evelyn's story takes a turn towards the cautionary as her windfall led her down a path of gambling addiction. With millions at her disposal, Evelyn was drawn to the bright lights of Atlantic City. Initially, it might have seemed like harmless fun, an extension of her incredible luck streak. Yet, as time passed, the casinos became a second home, and her fortune became fuel for the slot machines and poker tables. The addiction took a heavy toll financially and also on her personal life. The once lucky winner found herself in a cycle of chasing losses, each bet a desperate attempt to reclaim a fraction of her former wealth. Ultimately, Evelyn's tale ended in financial ruin, with her living in a trailer. If you thought this story was sad, wait till you see the next one. Number 23. Americo Lopez. Americo Lopez was a construction worker whose lottery win became a tale of betrayal. Americo and his co-workers had a pact. If any of their pooled lottery tickets won, they would share the winnings. Luck smiled on them when Americo's ticket hit the jackpot, securing millions. However, instead of honoring the agreement, Americo chose deception. He concealed the win from his colleagues, claiming the winning ticket was one he had purchased separately. The joy of his newfound wealth was overshadowed by the weight of his dishonesty. The truth eventually surfaced, leading to a legal battle where his former friends and colleagues sought justice. The court sided with the betrayed workers, and Americo was ordered to split the winnings as originally agreed. Our next story is equally as shocking. Number 22. Denise Rossi. Denise Rossi won $1.3 million in the California lottery. Instead of sharing the joyous news with her husband, Denise chose to keep her win a secret, filing for divorce shortly after her win, without disclosing her newfound wealth. Her plan was to start anew, free from her past life and relationships, with her lottery winnings as her safety net. However, the truth has a way of coming to light. 2 years after the divorce, her ex-husband discovered the concealed lottery win. Feeling betrayed, he took legal action against Denise for not disclosing the winnings during their divorce proceedings. The court ruled in favor of Denise's ex-husband, awarding him every cent of her lottery win. Much like Denise, the next person had legal troubles that took her entire wealth away. Number 21. Tonda Lynn Dickerson. Tonda Lynn Dickerson is a former Waffle House waitress whose lottery win turned into a legal battleground. Tonda was gifted a lottery ticket by a customer that turned out to be worth $10 million. However, controversy arose when her co-workers claimed they had a verbal agreement to share any winnings from tickets given to them at work. Tonda decided to keep the entire jackpot for herself, leading to a series of lawsuits from disgruntled colleagues who felt betrayed by her decision. The legal disputes were just the beginning of Tonda's troubles. After setting up a corporation to manage her winnings, she gifted a portion of her fortune to her family, unknowingly incurring a substantial tax bill from the IRS. The tax authorities pursued her for not paying gift taxes on the shares she transferred, leading to a financial battle. This next loss of a lottery win is a nightmare. Number 20. Willie Seeley. Willie Seeley's lottery win quickly felt more like a curse than a blessing. Willie was part of a lottery pool that struck gold, winning a massive jackpot that promised to change their lives forever. Initially, the win seemed like a dream come true, offering financial freedom and endless possibilities. However, the dream soon turned into a nightmare as Willie found himself besieged by media attention and individuals seeking a share of his wealth. The constant intrusion and request for money took a toll on his peace of mind, transforming his win into a source of endless stress and anxiety. While Willie had a stressful time, the next entry had an even worse experience. Number 19. Suzanne Mullins. A Virginia lottery winner, Suzanne Mullins, had a story that was a classic case of financial mismanagement leading to a downward spiral into debt. In 1993, Suzanne won a substantial $4.2 million in the lottery, which was to be paid out in annual installments. However, her financial troubles began when she decided to use her future payments as collateral for a loan, a move that would have far-reaching consequences. When the lottery rules changed, allowing winners to opt for a lump sum instead of annual payments, Suzanne took the remaining amount in one go. Unfortunately, she stopped making payments on the loan, leading to an accumulation of debt that far exceeded her remaining lottery winnings. But this next guy had a heartbreaking end to his lottery fairy tale. Number 18. Billy Bob Harrell Jr. Another tragic tale is that of Billy Bob Harrell Jr., whose lottery win led to an unforeseen and heartbreaking end. Billy Bob's life changed overnight when he won the $31 million Texas Lotto jackpot in 1997. With newfound wealth, he sought to fulfill his dreams and generously share his fortune with those around him. However, the sudden influx of money and the pressures that accompanied it began to overwhelm Billy Bob. He faced relentless requests for financial assistance, and his inability to say no led to a rapid depletion of his funds. The constant demands and the stress of managing his fortune strained his personal relationships, ultimately leading to a divorce. Tragically, the combined weight of these pressures proved too much for Billy Bob. His story took a dark turn when he ended his own life. Similar to this was our next entry, whose life ended tragically. Number 17. Abraham Shakespeare. Another heart-wrenching story is that of Abraham Shakespeare, a lottery winner whose fate was sealed by misplaced trust. Abraham's life took a dramatic turn when he won a $30 million jackpot in Florida, a moment that should have marked the beginning of a new chapter filled with hope and possibilities. However, Abraham's windfall attracted the attention of individuals with ulterior motives. Among them was a woman who pretended to be a friend, offering to help manage his newfound wealth. This friendship proved to be fatal, as her intentions were far from benevolent. The tragic end to Abraham's story came when he was found murdered, a victim of the very person he believed had his best interests at heart. This next entry had good intentions, but her story ended on a dark note. Number 16. Janet Lee. Janet Lee's generosity knew no bounds. Janet, who emigrated from South Korea, saw her life transform when she won an $18 million lottery in 1993. With a heart as big as her jackpot, she felt compelled to give back, contributing vast sums to various charitable causes and political campaigns. While her intentions were noble, Janet's philanthropy soon spiraled into financial recklessness. Her donations and contributions, made with the best intentions, quickly depleted her lottery fortune. The very act of giving, which should have been her legacy, became her downfall. While Janet lost her money due to her good intentions, our next lottery winner lost it due to a very stupid reason. Number 15. E.B. Ronchioli. Another tragic tale was that of E.B. Ronchioli, a lottery winner whose story is marked by secrecy and ultimately tragedy. Evie won $5 million in the lottery, a win that should have secured her family's financial future. However, she took control of the family finances and made a series of secret financial decisions without the knowledge of her husband, a successful gynecologist. Evie's secret management of their wealth led to significant financial ruin, wasting the lottery winnings and also the family's savings. The discovery of these secret dealings and the resulting financial catastrophe shattered her husband's trust and led to an unfathomable outcome. The revelations of Evie's actions devastated her husband, leading to a tragic conclusion where he took her life. Although this story was dark, this next person got caught in his own lie after winning money. Number 14. Barry Shell. Barry Shell was a man whose moment of triumph was swiftly overshadowed by his past. Barry's luck turned when he won a substantial sum in the Ontario lottery, a moment that should have marked the beginning of a new chapter. However, his joy was short-lived. Upon collecting his winnings, Barry was met not with celebration, but with handcuffs. Unbeknownst to him, outstanding warrants for his arrest on charges of theft and possession of stolen property were looming over him. His lottery win, instead of providing a fresh start, drew attention to his unresolved legal issues. Barry's story took a further turn when he decided to transfer his prize money to a relative before facing the consequences of his actions. Thought this lottery loss was bad? This next one was won by a teenager who lost it all. Number 13. Callie Rogers. Another lottery horror story was that of Callie Rogers, the teenager whose life took a turn after winning a substantial lottery prize. At just 16, Callie found herself the recipient of a fortune that most only dream of. Initially, it seemed like a ticket to a life filled with everything she could ever want. Callie's sudden wealth propelled her into a lifestyle of excess, marked by lavish spending on parties, cosmetic surgeries, and gifts for friends. However, the glitz and glamour of this new life were short-lived. The reality of her situation became apparent as the money dwindled and the true cost of her choices came into focus. In an unexpected twist, Callie found contentment away from the luxury her lottery win afforded her. Her story is not so different from the next one. Number 12. Michael Carroll. Michael Carroll was infamously dubbed the Lotto Lout, and his lottery win became a catalyst for chaos. Michael's life changed overnight when he won a staggering $12.3 million at the age of 19. However, the windfall didn't bring the joy one might expect. Instead, it funded a lifestyle that spiraled out of control. Michael's newfound wealth financed excessive partying, drugs, and a series of reckless decisions that soon became tabloid fodder. His extravagant and tumultuous lifestyle drained his fortune and led to legal troubles and personal turmoil. In a surprising turn of events, Michael found himself returning to a modest life, taking up employment in a biscuit factory. Although this story had a surprisingly wholesome end, this next one is far from heartwarming. Number 11. Willie Hurt. Another cautionary tale is that of Willie Hurt, whose lottery win resulted in personal destruction. Winning $3.1 million in 1989, Willie's life initially seemed set for an upturn. However, the influx of money led him down a dark path, marked by a devastating addiction to crack cocaine. As Willie's addiction took hold, his fortune quickly evaporated. The money that once promised security and happiness instead fueled a destructive habit that eroded not only his wealth but also his relationships and standing in the community. Legal troubles soon followed, worsening his woes and completing his fall from grace. This next story is an even bigger horror story. Number 10. Jack Whitaker. Already a millionaire, Jack Whitaker's fortune rose to unprecedented heights when he won a $315 million Powerball jackpot. This monumental win, however, marked the beginning of an unforeseen downfall. Jack's life post-win was troubled by a series of thefts, including a significant sum stolen from his car, signaling the start of his troubles. The wealth that was meant to enhance his life instead attracted misfortune and magnified his personal vices, leading to a string of incidents that affected his financial standing and his personal relationships. Tragedy struck deeper with the loss of his granddaughter and daughter, adding a sense of loss to his financial ruin. Much like this one, our next entry had a similar fate. Number 9. Jeffrey Dampier. Jeffrey Dampier's big-heartedness following his lottery win had a fatal outcome. After winning a $20 million jackpot, Jeffrey invested in his passion by starting a gourmet popcorn business and didn't hesitate to share his fortune with his family, embodying the spirit of generosity. However, this very generosity led to his untimely demise. Jeffrey's kindness was exploited by a family member and partner who came up with a sinister plan driven by greed. The betrayal reached its peak when they kidnapped and ultimately took Jeffrey's life. This next story also ends in a tragic way. Number 8. David Lee Edwards. David Lee Edwards was a former convict whose life took a sudden turn after winning a $27 million lottery jackpot. With his newfound wealth, he embarked on a spending spree that knew no bounds, acquiring luxury cars, a mansion, and even a private jet. However, David's lavish lifestyle was unsustainable. His fortune dwindled at an alarming rate, worsened by a crippling drug addiction that drained his finances and also his health. Within a few short years, he found himself broke, living in squalor, a contrast to the life of luxury he once led. Our next entry is about a couple who faced a sudden end to their luxurious life. Number 7. Roger and Laura Griffiths. Roger and Laura Griffiths, a couple whose lottery win seemed like the beginning of a fairy tale, soon became a horror show. Winning a substantial lottery jackpot, they embarked on fulfilling their dreams, purchasing a lavish home and indulging in luxuries they had always desired. Roger even pursued his aspiration of becoming a rock star, while Laura invested in her own beauty business. However, the glitter of their new lifestyle soon faded as financial strains began to surface, worsened by unchecked spending and risky investments. The tension took a toll on their relationship, with accusations of infidelity leading to an unfixable rift. The final blow came when a fire, sparked by an electrical fault, gutted their home. However, this next person lost all her money due to her loyalty. Number 6. Marie Holmes. The story of Marie Holmes, a lottery winner whose life took a chaotic turn due to her unwavering loyalty to her boyfriend, is yet another horror story. Marie's win of $188 million was a beacon of hope for a brighter future for her and her children. However, her desire to support her partner led her down a path of financial and emotional distress. Marie's generosity saw her using a significant portion of her winnings to repeatedly bail her boyfriend out of jail, an act that drew widespread criticism and led to a contentious public spectacle. This cycle of bailouts and legal troubles drained her financial resources and placed a heavy burden on her emotional well-being. Although this next person didn't lose money to a partner, she did lose money to her dreams. Number 5. Lisa Arkand. Winning $1 million might seem like a ticket to lifelong security, but Lisa Arkand's experience tells a different story. Overflowing with optimism, she poured her winnings into fulfilling long-held dreams, a new home, elegant furnishings, and the ambitious endeavor of opening her own restaurant. Lisa's aspirations were genuine, driven by a desire not simply to improve her own life, but to create something lasting. However, the harsh realities of business ownership soon became apparent. Despite her best efforts and initial success, the restaurant struggled to sustain itself, eventually becoming a financial sinkhole that consumed a significant portion of her lottery winnings. This next couple thought their money would never run out, but they were in for a surprise. Number 4. Rhoda and Alex Toth. Winning the Florida Lottery's $13 million jackpot seemed like the ultimate stroke of luck for Rhoda and Alex Toth, a gateway to a life of luxury and ease. They indulged in the newfound wealth, believing it to be inexhaustible. However, the tide turned when their lavish spending spiraled out of control, leading to financial disarray. The situation worsened as they found themselves entangled in legal battles, accused of tax evasion by the IRS. The legal troubles left them in a state of poverty, much like our next entry. Number 3. Gerald Muswagon. Gerald Muswagon's life changed overnight when he won the $10 million Canadian Super 7 jackpot. Initially, it seemed like Gerald's win was a blessing, allowing him to live life to the fullest. However, the partying and poor business decisions took their toll. Gerald's ventures failed, and the constant high living drained his resources faster than he could have imagined. The wealth that once seemed endless evaporated, leaving Gerald in a dire state of financial and emotional turmoil. Tragically, the weight of his losses and the drastic change in his circumstances led to Gerald's untimely death. Our next couple had a heartbreaking fate in store for them. Number 2. Martin and Kay Todd. Martin and Kay Todd experienced the heartbreak of coming so close to a life-altering fortune, only to have it slip through their fingers. The Todds had won a staggering $3.8 million jackpot, but their joy turned to despair when they realized their winning ticket was nowhere to be found. Despite a frantic search and an appeal to lottery officials, their claim was denied due to strict rules on ticket possession and reporting losses. The couple's inability to produce the physical ticket meant their dreams and plans for the future, fueled by the anticipated winnings, vanished as quickly as they'd appeared. Although the next winner got his money, he didn't get his happy ending. Number 1. Ronnie Music Jr. The case of Ronnie Music Jr. was bewildering, as his lottery win took a dark and illegal turn. Winning $3 million from a scratch-off ticket could have been the start of a new, prosperous life for Ronnie. Instead, he saw it as an opportunity to expand his wealth in the most dangerous way possible, by investing in a crystal meth trafficking ring. Ronnie's decision to plunge his winnings into the drug trade was catastrophic. It wasn't long before the law caught up with him, leading to his arrest. These lottery winners saw their fortunes fade in ways you'd never imagine. But remember, their stories are more the rule than the exception. But what are the exceptions to this rule? This girl was only 18 years old when she won a huge lottery from her very first lottery ticket. Check out how this 18-year-old wins $50 million after buying first lottery ticket.